And today, we're going to take a look at 86 Jazz. Welcome back to my channel. In today's review, I will be taking a look at Transformers Studio Series 86 Jazz. And this is one of my most anticipated figures for this year. So, with that being said, smash that subscribe button and like button, and let's get right into it. And here we're going to take a look at the box, and here we have Jazz in the box still. We got him with the box art right there. I think that looks really good. It's Transformers the movie, 86. We got 86. This is the first one for the deluxe. And then we got the back. We got Moon Base 1 Destruction. That'll be the backdrop. We'll take a look a little bit later at. It'll be 20 steps from vehicle to robot mode. And I'll get a little closer look at what the backdrop kind of will look like. And let's get right into it. And here I have Jazz already transformed into his vehicle mode. And he turns into his Porsche. It's very close to the G1 Porsche that we got in the cartoon, but obviously they don't have the rights to do the exact model. So we got some really good representation here. They had to change the number to a 14 versus used to be a 4, which is totally fine by me. If anybody doesn't, I'm pretty sure Toy Hacks can get you a number 4 and get rid of the 1 and be done with it. Keep it real simple. But overall, I think this vehicle mode is really outstanding. I'm really impressed with it. Like the back rims. I wish they would have covered that up just to make it match this in the back here, but that's really being nitpicky. I like the colors, very G1. The spoiler in the back, it looks pretty good. Not going to complain about that. We do have Jazz's feet sticking out, you know, in the back, acting as like a bumper. I'm not going to knock that really. It doesn't bother me. I think they did a good job hiding his feet as best they could, and it's nothing so bad about. Another thing is this whole top part of the vehicle is all translucent plastic. I will not be adding in his weapon to the top of that. I've seen people putting the peg in and be chipping the paint here and taking it off. So I will not be doing that in this review. Just do that at your own risk. Hopefully nothing happens. This is the only copy that I have, and I thought about buying another one just to have an extra, so I can have one in robot mode and one in vehicle mode, so I don't have to transform him due to something else in the QC issues I've already kind of spoke about, but I'll get a little bit more into that later in the video. And it's just, you have to be very delicate with him during his transformation, and yeah, that's about the easiest way I could put it. But so far I've only bought one of these, and I don't know, if I buy another one, the other one could be already broken in the box, or I could just transform it once and then all of a sudden it cracks, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things good and bad with this figure. I think overall the vehicle mode looks awesome. And so we went over the vehicle mode for the most part. We got the racing stripe there. We got a little bit more molded detail there of the vehicle. We got the front bumper. Looks really good. Autobot logo. Got the stripe continuing to add that Jazz look from G1. The back, obviously the feet, rims, 14, and underneath seems to clean up pretty well. So, but you know, that's about it for that. And then we're going to get into the transformation here. Oh, okay, I've never heard that clicking noise. Obviously there's this tab sticking out here that goes into the door, and then there's one right, can't see it from that angle, it's there's a tab right there, goes into that hole right there as well to help the door be secure. So That might have been what I kind of knocked a little loose. And then the other part, this whole top part, is translucent plastic painted on top. And as I was saying, the weapon, do at your own risk. I'm just gonna warn one last time. I just won't do it. Okay, so I freed that up. I'm gonna free his legs out. They extend out. That's the easy part. Free his toes up. Real easy. Then you're gonna turn this down. Turn this one down. So that's gonna get his legs ready to go. So for right here, don't move this up. Don't move this piece just yet. Come over here, take your 2 index fingers right under here. Real awkward to show. And take your 2 thumbs and put right here. And what you're gonna do, you're just gonna press up. Gently. Just enough to free the hinge out. And now it doesn't want to do it. There. Used 1. Just enough to give that release right there, because this hinge right here. And then once you do that, this is where it frees up the rest of the robot. So this part is part of his torso. So you want to turn that around separately from his legs. So this will be his stomach. Okay? So now this is where this whole thing just gets even more weird. You have to like angle these a little bit because this needs enough. Yeah, wrong way. It's so annoying how it does this. Okay, we're just gonna do it that way. You just need enough clearance to get through there, and if you don't, this piece is going to catch on to one of the doors, and then you're just fighting it, and that's probably where all the some of the QC issues are coming into play so fast. You just gotta cradle this thing in and just there, just like that. Fold the doors. You're done that part. So now you're going to come over here, and we're going to fold this piece all the way in before we try to get the head to go through, and this will just make it. And then this piece right here is going to lock in these 2 tabs right there when you bring it down. So let's just get his arms out of the way. There we go. Clear that. It's always easier to do this off camera than on camera. I'm just being extra careful because of this, even though it's already done. Just taking my time. I don't want to break this because honestly, even buying another one, it makes no sense. I mean, unless you broke it and maybe you buy one, but then you just spent $40 on something you shouldn't have to for your $20 figure. Let's just arm him up right now. Very G1 weapon he got there. It's very cool. And here we have Jazz, and taking a look at that face sculpt. It looks fantastic. Nice G1 head sculpt right there. Don't have to say no more. He's come with obviously his blaster we already just talked about. He looks like we just pulled him right from the movie. And here's the cool thing about it. He has no doors hanging out, which I never really bothered me, but you know, bothered some people. Hey, whatever. So they fixed the problem, but now we got this whole translucent backpack, which is not much of a backpack. I think they did a pretty good job under the limited budget they had to make this figure happen. And God, is this so much better than Power of the Primes. A lot better. So here I happen to show off the Moonbase 1 backdrop, like I said I would. And it's pretty cool. It ties in with Jazz, and it can also tie in with Cliffjumper, since he was there, and this is obviously Earthrise. So, and the scaling with them is about right. Cliffjumper should be about that tall. So there is that. So I've done that. And the backdrop overall, it's a backdrop. Enough said. And here we're going to just take a look at his articulation. So he has a full 360 with the shoulder. He has a bicep swivel, 90-degree on the elbow. He has no wrist articulation other than for the transformation to bend his hand in. Obviously, he has a gap filler there. I'll need to get some gap fillers. That's what I'm trying to say there. Overall, the thigh swivel is super tight, but that's fine. A little bit of a gap there. Totally fine. We'll get some gap fillers for that as well. I've been looking online for a set. Still looking. Ankle articulation, toe articulation due to the transformation. Obviously, waist. You can do a full 360 on the waist. I'm not going to go all the way. I just don't want to be messing with the backpack. So there is that. And obviously, his head is on a ball joint, so he can nod his head yes to Optimus Prime for everything he asks him to do. Yes, that's a thing. But I mean that in a nice way. So yes, his head can do a full 360. I don't know why you would do that, other than you want to break his neck, which that's pretty scary. So there is Jazz. Oh, wait, one more thing. Knee bend. He has more knee bend than I do, which is actually even more scary because that's where you have knee problems. So, okay, I get what the knees are for. I just want to point out that trying to get them in certain poses and everything, the knee gets a little weird because of the transformation. So you got to really this doesn't lock in or anything. This is just on a, it's on a knee joint on this weird, and there's a hinge in there. On the inside you can't see very well, but it's in there. And that's how this is doing this. So what you got to do there is pretty much when you want to get him into a right pose, you're going to have to get his leg right, and you're going to be messing with him a lot. God, these thighs are super tight. And then once you get him in a pose with his legs and stuff, it does work. And in the back of his legs right here, his spoiler acts as like a heel. They don't move, but it works. Just wanted to point that out as well. So my final thoughts on Transformers Studio Series 86, Autobot Jazz. Overall, it's a huge improvement over the Power of the Primes Jazz. And when I say this, that thing is a dumpster fire. I don't care if anybody liked that figure. This is just my opinion, and I think that figure is a piece of garbage. Enough said. But this figure, I anticipated when they announced that we were going to get this. I was hoping, God, don't use the Power of the Primes mold. It's a piece of crap, blah, 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 And then this came out, and I'm like, wow, the way it looks great. Feels great. The only downside is this. So as long as you're careful with this, in a couple of years, not much you can do about that. Looks good. Fantastic transformation, fantastic vehicle mode for what they were able to do under the budget for this figure. So, and I just have to mention that my first figure was actually a G1 Jazz. So I've been waiting a long time to get a new Jazz figure. And the Power of the Primes, like I said, enough said. I'm just going to leave it at that. So, if you can find this figure on the shelf, pick it up. You will not be disappointed. And that's it for the review. Thank you to all of my subscribers for all your support.